Field for the third is at the start of the round. One Hot Fantasy, Spin the Wheel, Political Crisis, and Atoka Lone Wolf on the outside. Then it is Blue Demon and Barack and Roll as the field hustles around the turn. Ferris is back there spinning seventh, and then it is Revolutionary, and Castor Blue Chip is back trailing the field. They race on into the back stretch. One Hot Fantasy's got the front and Spin the Wheel along to the inside. Political Crisis is racing third. Atoka Lone Wolf races to the outside, and Blue Demon is fifth to the inside. The Rock and Roll is back in sixth, and seventh is Ferris in front of Revolutionary. Castor Blue Chip is back trailing. The field moves around the turn off an opening quarter of 28-2, and it is One Hot Fantasy with the lead as they race off the turn. One Hot Fantasy, Spin the Wheel along to the inside, and racing on the outside as the field marches on towards us. It is Atoka Lone Wolf being followed by Barack and Roll. Political Crisis to the inside, about 4 lengths off the lead. Ferris up a little closer. The outside is now sixth. Seventh is Blue Demon. And then it is Revolutionary and Castor Blue Chip. 59 seconds. The halftime. They roll on towards the 5/8. One Hot Fantasy. Spin the Wheel in a little closer in the pocket. Atoka Lone Wolf, 3 1/4 off the lead. He's first up third. Political Crisis fourth to the inside. But Rock and Roll is outside 5. Then Blue Demon down to the inside. Ferris is seventh. Revolutionary 3 wide from the backfield. Now Revolutionary is coming quickly. Castor Blue Chip is trailing. Revolutionary from the backfield is out 4 wide and is picking up horses. 1:29 for 3/4. They race on the final turn. One Hot Fantasy leads by 3 or 4. Spin the Wheel is second. Political Crisis is third as they're about to turn for home. On down the stretch drive they come. And to the outside, Revolutionary now has come on to grab fourth on down the stretch drive. And it is still One Hot Fantasy. One Hot Fantasy by 3. Political Crisis on the inside. Spin the Wheel and Revolutionary. One Hot Fantasy wins. Then it was Political Crisis, Spin the Wheel, and Revolutionary fourth. 1:58-4. Back in front of us, the third race winner, number 4, One Hot Fantasy, a 3-year-old Island of Fantasy Bay gelding, owned by Nino DeShalis and Robert Prest. Jim DeShalis, the trainer, Robert Shepard, the winning driver. 5th win for One Hot Fantasy, 1:58-4. Wednesday afternoon at Flamborough, here they come. Field for the third has reached the starting off. Blue Demon leaves with Political Crisis. One Hot Fantasy on the inside. Then first start, the field hustles on into that first turn. And with the early lead is One Hot Fantasy. They race on into the back stretch. Then racing second, Political Crisis. Off stride goes first start. And position third is Blue Demon. Power Smiles looking at things, racing from fourth. And then racing from 5 is driving with the brakes on. Then it is back further to Dreamway Dexter, Somerville Jack. Then it's $1 Million Kevin. And first starts back trailing 28 seconds, the opening quarter. And the field moves on around the turn. And it's One Hot Fantasy and Phil Giesbrecht with a lead of about 3 lengths right now. Racing along in second is Political Crisis. Position third as they come off the turn. That's Blue Demon. Now rolling to the outside and going off stride is Power Smile. Now sweeping up on the outside, Dreamway Dexter is first up, racing third. Blue Demon is positioned fourth, and Somerville Jack is five. Driving with the brakes on is sixth. 58 and 2 is your half. $1 Million Kevin's positioned as seventh, and it is back further to Power Smile. And first start is ninth. They race on into the backstretch, and with the lead, One Hot Fantasy, Phil Giesbrecht leads by 4.5 or 5. Political Crisis is racing position second, and up three wide now comes Somerville Jack. Center of the track is Dreamway Dexter, and down to the inside, Blue Demon is trying to maintain third, fights back through to the inside, and now has reclaimed third. 127 and 4 for three quarters. One Hot Fantasy with a lead. One Hot Fantasy, Political Crisis, and Blue Demons racing third. Then taking up her fourth is Driving with the Brakes on. Field comes on down the stretch drive, and One Hot Fantasy is cruising to the finish. Leads still by 3.5 lengths. Trying to hold on to second is Political Crisis, but driving late, Driving with the Brakes on is up and out to get second. Then it's between Political Crisis and Blue Demon for third, 158 and 4. Back in front of us, the winner of the third, number 2, One Hot Fantasy. 3 Rhode Island Fantasy Bay Gelding, owned by Nino DeShellis and Robert Press. James DeShellis is the trainer. Phil Giesbrecht's the winning.
That's all, folks.